Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these fondant roses. I was so excited with the way they turned out. This was actually my first time making them, so I wanted to share this with you guys. I put them on this beautiful cake that I will be showing you at the end, but let's get started, okay? All right, so this is optional. You don't have to go out and buy one of these, but I did just because I've never ever made these roses before. But what I did was I bought this Wilton tool. It kind of has like a little knife at the end, and then it had a pointy end. And then you're going to be using a Wilton brush, but again, you don't have to use these. The fondant that I'm going to be using today is this Cake Craft fondant that I got at Walmart also. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so what I did is I just grabbed a little piece of fondant. You're going to be rolling some smaller sizes of balls. You're going to be needing a total of 10 small balls. The first one is going to be for our rosebud, and this is how big you should make your balls. All of them should be about the same size. That first one, again, like I said, is going to be for our rosebud, and then I'm going to be rolling another one, and that's going to be for our first petal. That's going to be going around that rosebud. See how they're almost similar size? That's how you need to be getting, actually making all of the balls exactly like that. I'm going to be fast forwarding this video, and you can tell that I'm going to be making 3 more. After the 3 balls, I'm going to start a second line, and this one is going to be 5 balls because that's going to be for the last layer for the rose. Okay, so here I am working on that last row, which I told you is going to be 5 balls, so a total of 10 balls. The first one again is going to be for our rosebud, and the second one is going to be for our first petal that's going to be going around the rosebud. As you can see, I had a little bit of the fondant left over, so I put it in a sandwich bag. You could put it back into the bag with the fondant. You can tell that I'm counting to make sure that that first one is going to be for our rosebud, and I'm going to start shaping it into a rosebud. What you're going to do is you're going to slightly take it and just kind of roll one end, pressing it down so it kind of looks like a cone shape, just like this. And if it gets too hard for you to do it on your hand, I just started doing it like this, but if you want to just put it on the table and just roll it back and forth on the table, you could do that. I just wanted to do it on my hand. I thought it was easier this way, but whatever is easiest for you will work. Here I am kind of showing you a little bit how you can roll it this way, but I decided just to do it on my hand. Okay, so now we're ready for our rose petal, the first rose petal. What you're going to do is you're just going to grab it, you're going to squeeze it or pinch it at the bottom of the ball. I mean, it doesn't really matter which side is the bottom. And then you're just going to kind of hold it right there where my 2 fingers are at. And then the top, I'm going to be squeezing it and flattening it out as much as possible. You don't want to get it too thin, but this is pretty good right here, just like that. Okay, so now you're ready to put the first rose petal around the rosebud. What you're going to do is the bottom that you squeezed is going to be towards the bottom, and then you're going to just roll it. And I didn't use any water at this time just because my fondant wasn't dry at all. I had been working with it, so it was good to go. Just like that. You can kind of see the rosebud, and that looks that's fine right there. Okay, you're gonna see that the bottom of it is kind of sticking out, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just take it off. You can choose to take it off at this point, or you can wait and take it off later on. I chose to kind of just wait it out a little bit, but now we're ready to start our first layer of petals that are gonna go around the rosebud. Okay, so what I'm doing here is the same thing that I did with the first rose petal. I'm going to kind of fast forward the video, but as you can tell, I squeezed the bottom and then I'm flattening the top to make it look into like a petal shape, just like this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it flat and I'm going to do the same thing to the other 2 petals, just like that. I like to kind of maybe use my finger and make it look more like a petal, but you can choose to do that or you don't have to do that. I just kind of played with it. All right, so here I am doing the same thing to the next petal, and then I'm going to stick it right onto it. See kind of how I kind of like overlap them a little bit? That's what you have to do. You're going to be using 3 petals, and those 3 are going to be going around, and that'll be the first layer of petals. Once you start working with your fondant a lot, it starts to kind of dry up a little bit. So sometimes I will use like my brush and kind of put a little bit of water in between the petals, but I didn't have to at that time. But I did just kind of put a line across just like this because I'm going to be putting it around the rosebud, and I just want to make sure that it sticks and it's not coming apart. All right, so here's the fun part. Literally all you have to do is roll the rosebud over it. So watch while I do this. Make sure that it sticks on there just fine. And then you just roll your little rosebud to form your first layer of your rose. Just like this. Okay, so see, there's that little part that's bothering me. I'm going to go ahead and take it off now. And then you just kind of have to pinch the bottom just like this. You kind of can tap it down on the table or your finger, whatever, just to kind of get it smooth. And then here's the fun part. This is where you have to be very careful. You kind of just have to make your petals kind of pull out a little bit. Here I am using the tool, but if you don't have the tool, you don't have to use it. You can just use your finger. So I was just showing you that you could use the tool, but I just kind of went in and just used my fingers to just kind of fold them out a little bit. I feel like, or I think that the rosebud or the rose looks so pretty like this, but I'm going to go ahead and add the 5 petals. Okay, so you can see that I'm counting the 5 petals, but then it's the next day. All of a sudden, there's all kinds of other balls. Okay, so what happened was my parents got there when I had started recording, and they started talking to me, and I couldn't record, so I kind of had to finish off the rose, so I didn't get a chance to show you how I was recording the 5 petals, but I'm going to do it now. It's the same process, just squeezing the bottom. But my fondant was a little bit dry since it was the next day. I did have to put just a little bit of water in between the petals, just like this. You don't have to use water. You can use something else, but all I use is water, guys. That's all I use, okay? Now the next step is, here's my rose with the first layer that I did, except, I'm forgetting to put the line of the water on there, okay? So don't forget that step, because it all depends if your fondant is dry or not. Okay, so now what you're going to do is add that last layer. You did see a couple of balls in the other video, but like I said, it was the next day. I just wanted to have the balls ready to go, so that's why I had them right there while I was working on that last layer. But go ahead and pinch the bottom and tear that extra stuff off, and then tap it and make sure that, try to get it as smooth as possible. And then now what you're going to do is try to fix the petals. Just like this. You kind of have to work with it. It took me a while. The first couple of roses didn't look very nice. I was very impressed with the way that this one actually came out, so I was pretty happy to actually record this one. Here I am again using that same tool. Again, you don't have to use that tool, you can just use your fingers, but I thought it was very helpful to just kind of use it. I got this tool, if you're wondering, at Walmart. You don't have to use it, but you can. All right, and the last final step is you kind of have to pinch your petals just a little bit, just to make them look a little bit neater. And just like that, you have a very beautiful rose. And then I decided to put them on this beautiful cake. This cake was the Queen of Hearts cake, and I think it came out adorable. I think it looks so pretty. So let me know what you think. Comment down below. Let me know. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun making this cake with the roses. Thank you. Bye.